For this video, I challenge you to please table your emotions, your politics, your preconceived ideas, and just listen. See if I present any statistics, any thoughts, any ideas that challenge what you've been told, that empower you to fight this fight more effectively. Hi beautiful people! So first things first, I wanted to let you guys know how things wrapped up between me and Ally Stucky. She made a podcast about God is Gray, calling my theology into question, to which I responded with this video. I was actually very excited about this because Ally and I are on completely opposing views of almost every political fight, but we're both Christians, so I really wanted to invite her into conversation. So I asked you guys to hit her up on Instagram, which you did, and she finally slid into my DMs. She said, "As yet, it doesn't seem like it would be mutually beneficial for us to have you on my podcast. I have no doubt you're a lovely person, you're also beautiful, but I've already addressed everything I want to address, and it seems you have too." And then she warned she may block me on Instagram. So I asked her not to and said, "It is hurtful to have my salvation and faith called into question, which is something me and my audience share, that pain of being unable to fit into the Christian mold." So I was happy we connected, even though she did block me. I did want to thank you guys so much for reaching out to Ally with warmth and sincerity. Speaking of us versus thems, perceiving other people to be our enemy, nothing divides us more than the abortion debate.
No uterus, no right to talk about it.
But before we begin, I want you guys to know where I'm coming from. When I was 15 years old, I made this paper mache piece in art class. It was a woman 9 months pregnant on her knees holding a gun to her belly, and I called it abortion. When my teacher asked me why I had used such a violent image to portray abortion, it seemed so obvious to me. I was like, abortion is murder. This is an accurate portrayal. At church, in my youth group, the solution to this massive social and moral issue was, if you don't want a baby, don't have sex. If you're not married, don't have sex. If you get pregnant, have a baby. Simple. But Christians, if we want to win this fight, we cannot reside in black and white. Black and white thinking makes for exciting headlines and emotional debates, but it doesn't save lives. Let us figure out not how we can battle each other and see one another as the enemy, but how we can unite to actually solve this problem. So here are 4 powerful ways we need to talk about abortion. Number 1, everyone on every side. Humble. A. Recognize that pro-life and pro-choice are on the same dang team. They both want to stop abortion. I know the terminology can be confusing. Pro-life sounds like it saves babies, but until that movement invests in comprehensive sex education and resource, babies and mothers statistically die under pro-life policy. On the other hand, pro-choice sounds like pro-death or pro-abortion, but many of those in the movement have suffered abortions themselves. They see pro-choice policy as the answer to saving lives. Both camps want to stop abortion. B. Realize we will never stop people from having consensual sex. It annoys me to the high heavens when Ben Shapiro or Steven Crowder act like nationwide abstinence is easy.
If you don't want to be a single mother, go through that life, don't have sex.
Not all Americans see premarital sex as a sin, and people will have sex whether we believe it's moral or not. As for Christians, 80% are having premarital sex, regardless of church teachings. We will never prevent abortion with ignorance. C. Genuinely consider the outlawing of abortion. I know this sounds ideal to many pro-lifers. Just make it illegal and it goes away. But regulating women's bodies does not stop abortion. Women always find a way. Take El Salvador as a blueprint. In El Salvador, abortion has been a punishable offense since 1998, but between 2005 and 2008, the Ministry of Health counted 19,290 abortions. In 2011, 11% of women and girls who underwent illegal abortions died as a result. Listen to me, guys. In El Salvador, suicide is the #1 cause of death among pregnant teenagers. Which brings me to the most important point of humility. Women who have abortions are not your enemies. They are people you know. 1 in 4 women will have an abortion by the age of 45. These women are your mothers, sisters, teachers, relatives, and friends, churchgoers included. 4 in 10 women who had abortions said they were churchgoers at the time. Shame, social pressure, and poor sex education can lead a church-going girl into a heartbreaking abortion. So how do we prevent abortion? 2, we need to love child and mother. The woman carrying that child is not your enemy. Protect her and you will protect that baby. We often talk about choice as though women are making an autonomous decision. That's not necessarily true. In 2017, there were 39.7 million people living in poverty in the United States. In one of the largest research studies of 1,200 abortion patients, 73% said they could not afford a baby at that time. Steven Crowder makes light of this.
How many single parents who are women are in poverty? Do you know the percentage?
It could not be less relevant.
But let's go back to humility. According to Michelle Oberman, author of Her Body, Our Laws, homelessness, violence, addiction, and poverty are the greatest contributing factors to abortion. Until we address these real factors, abortions will occur. Birth Choice of Oklahoma is one of the few incredible places that understands this concept. They don't shame pregnant women, they make having a baby a tangible reality. Which brings me to the most frustrating point. 3. To prevent abortions, we must notice our contradiction. How can we stand for the innocent, for babies' lives, and yet not advocate for the prevention of pregnancy? In 2018, the Trump administration quietly axed $213.6 million in grants for teen pregnancy prevention and research, while simultaneously pushing for abstinence-only education. Meanwhile, multiple studies show that the average age for initiating sexual activity has remained around 17 or 18 since the early 1990s, and that unwanted pregnancies skyrockets due to a lack of sex education. If the GOP genuinely wants to stop abortion, why are they ignoring these facts? Mike Pence is doing some of the worst work for preventing abortion. I'm not saying he's a bad man or not a Christian, but his ignorance is leading us down the wrong path. For example, in 1970, President Nixon enacted the family planning program Title X. Title X was dedicated to low-income and uninsured patients for access to breast and pelvic exams, pap smears, cancer screenings, HIV and pregnancy testing, counseling, and affordable birth control. But in 2011, Pence proposed cutting more than $300 million from the program. He did this because approximately a quarter of Title X funding goes to Planned Parenthood. Although that money explicitly cannot be used for abortions, House Republicans argued that limiting abortions was their primary reason for the cut. What he fails to realize is that Title X is a highly effective program that services over 5 million Americans and has prevented over 20 million unintended pregnancies over the past 2 decades. As for those Americans who are sour about your tax dollars going towards family planning, you need to understand this actually saves you money. A report by the National Family and Reproductive Health Association showed that every dollar invested in Title X saved almost $4 in Medicaid costs for pregnancy-related and newborn care alone. Which brings me to my last point. After we've faced reality and noticed contradiction, both sides need to, number 4, be willing to compromise. The great news is abortion can be prevented, not by making it less available, but by making it less necessary. Abortion is a private cost. Federal funding cannot be used for that, and that is a compromise that pro-choicers should be willing to make. But pro-lifers, will you advocate for pregnancy prevention and sex education or not? Will you encourage the GOP to take an honest look at what causes abortion? Pro-life and pro-choice, let's compromise and talk as though we're on the same team, because we are. I know that democratic socialism is a trigger word for a lot of Americans, but the United States already has successful social programming. It's not anti-American to help our own people. Also, let's just be honest and look at what works and doesn't work in other countries. In El Salvador, abortion is outlawed and pregnant women are dying in underground abortions or by committing suicide. On the contrary, in Austria, Belgium, Denmark, Estonia, France, Germany, Greece, Hungary, Ireland, Italy, Lithuania, Luxembourg, Poland, Slovakia, and Slovenia, their abortion limit is set to 12 weeks, a cutoff point that approximately 63% of Americans agree with. But these countries also provide massive governmental support for women who are childbearing and raising. And again, I can already hear conservatives screaming at me, if you don't want socialism, fine. But we are talking about how to prevent abortion. 73% of women had abortions because they did not feel they had the resource to have a child. If we do nothing to provide for mothers, abortion will continue at the same rate. For this video, I didn't even touch on the reality that sexual violence can lead to pregnancy, or that lack of male accountability causes abortion, though I do get into both for my Ben Shapiro video. At the end of the day, it's about unifying these two movements, pro-choice and pro-life, for a real solution. This topic is so dear to my heart. I really don't like how it's addressed by a lot of people, so I want to elevate us, to bring us into God's love and to God's heart for this topic. God wants us healed, whole. He doesn't want us to have to suffer this kind of tragedy. So I've offered solutions, and I want to hear from you guys in the comment section. How can you talk to someone that sees it in a different way and actually learn something or teach them something? Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being a part of this beautiful conversation in God is Gray. I love you. God bless.